What up? I'm happy you found the video. I'm also happy that you're interested in the DDI-12. It's my personal vendetta to make sure that this weapon doesn't get a bad rap. Before you guys say I look tired, I get off of work, it's like 3 in the morning, and I don't play with dolls. Never miss the opportunity for a free target. Now, I'm not going to be breaking open the shotgun and showing you the ins and outs of what goes where, because there's a handful of videos on YouTube that already do that, and they do a very good job of it. I suggest checking them all out, okay? What I'm going to focus on is what I think they've missed, alright? Like what's inside of the gas system and how does that work, and why the hell is there a ton of paint on the bolt carrier that shouldn't be there, okay? This is more tips for reliable function. Let's call it that, right? Things that I think will greatly increase the reliability of this firearm. Now, I've heard on forums that maybe this isn't the most reliable thing on the planet, but neither is a Sega 12 or a Vepr 12 and you treat it like shit. I'm very adamant about buying a firearm, taking it out of the box, and polishing every moving part on it before I put a round through it. I think this is one of those firearms. This is not something that you're going to take out of the box, put 1,000 shells downrange, because you're going to be sitting there thinking, I think I wasted my money. I'm going to show you exactly why I think you should open up everything and polish parts and make sure that this motherfucker is clean before you take it out. I also think you should clean it after you shoot it every time, but you're not going to be on a strict cleaning regimen. It's not a pain in the ass. Remind you that everything I'm about to show you took less than 30 minutes to do. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So I've opened her up, I've taken out the bolt and the bolt carrier. So if you're interested in the DDI-12, you've probably already seen that there's a depressing pin that you have to push down, and avoid my awkwardness. I don't usually do it like this, but you depress the pin and the gas selector turns freely. Now after a while that pin doesn't engage that selector and you get to get the fucking Allen, whatever the hell you're pushing it down with out of there. So here's your gas selector, okay? This is for your super hot loads. It's not all the way shut, but really hot loads. A little bit milder, a little bit milder. And this is for the shittiest round on the planet. Pro tip, oil those threads. I'll tell you why in a minute. Now if you're doing a good job cleaning this gas system, the puck should fall out under its own weight. Check this out. There it goes. And the puck is exactly what it sounds like. This fat little hockey puck. Now one side's beat in from the gas piston smacking the shit out of it constantly. One side's smooth. All it has to deal with is gas. When I first took that thing out, a whole bunch of nasty crap. So I had to clean them out. I cleaned off the sides. This comes in contact with the chamber that it rides in. I put a little bit of oil on it. I'll tell you why in a minute. Let me show you the chamber that the puck rides in. You see there's your gas port. Make sure that thing's clean and nothing's obstructing it. This is the chamber that gas puck rides in. Alright? The first time I opened this thing up, that chamber was full of metal shavings and a little bit of milling oil. Obviously that's a problem. Now if you have the same shit in this gas system, take a brass brush to it, clean all that crap out. It needs to get the fuck out of there. Make sure it's clean as hell. Alright? This gas puck, I put it in the same way every time. Gas piston beat side goes down, it should fall in under its own weight. Now the reason I oil those threads is because after a few shots, there's enough powder fouling and residue inside of this chamber that kind of gets hard to move. It's not going to be impossible to move, but it is very difficult. As far as oiling that puck, first shot is usually going to flash off that oil. It's not going to be there anymore. And disclaimer, this sound you hear, after your first shot or second, it's going to be gone. The puck's not going to move freely on its own anymore because there's enough fouling in there to stop it. That doesn't mean it's going to be unreliable. It's still going to do what it needs to do. There's enough pressure in there to get that thing to move. The reason I make sure that it moves freely like that and I oil the sides is that it will keep moving. That way before I take it out, I know that I've cleaned it. All I have to do is shake it. If I haven't cleaned it, it's not going to move around freely, and I know I have to bust it open and clean it before I take it out. Now this bolt has a lot of this paint on it. And here it's called gun coat. You see it shining right back at you. This shit was on every square inch of this bolt carrier, even in this little bolt well right there. I don't know what to call that. Oh my god, great rust inhibitor, but it doesn't need to be where it's at. So what I had to do, what I do with most of my firearms, is I polish this bit off where it comes in contact with the face of the hammer. Inside those recesses where the rail's right in, I polish that off. The well that the bolt stem goes into, polish that off. This little channel right there, polish that out. You gotta polish exactly where all those moving parts come in contact with. As far as the bolt goes, the stem has this horizontal milling on it. It was a little bit aggressive. Polish that down. It's nice and smooth. Feels like a baby's butt. Never touched one, but I don't know. Inside of the receiver, that gun coat's everywhere inside of the receiver. It's not on the internals like the hammer spring and the safety, but it is on the rails. So I had to polish that off too. Now, first time charging this weapon, gritty. That's the word that comes to mind. Gritty as hell. After polishing everything off, charming, princess, gentlemanly. Polishing made 200% difference. Alright? A lot of dudes do this thing where they go pick up a rifle or a shotgun, buy a box of rounds, go to the range and break it in. This is not that firearm, guys. Not at all. I'm over 300 shells. 2 3/4 inch, 3 inch, high brass, low brass, birdshot, buckshot, slugs. 100% flawless. 300 is a small number, but it's a great place to be with 100% reliability. I maintain this firearm properly. And gas system's not the most sensitive thing on the planet, but it definitely helps to make sure that it's functioning properly. There's no doubt about it. Clean that motherfucker up. It's gonna run more reliably. Now there are 2 claims made by Armsless Media on YouTube that directly attack the reputation of the DDI-12. First claim is that the bolt hold open sucks, is in a terrible spot, and is a pain in the ass to operate. The bolt hold open is one of the best features on this shotgun. It does 80% of the work for you. You barely have to touch it, right? I can do it behind my back with my left hand with my nuts tied to a tree. Second claim by Armsless Media is that you can't pit a loaded or a fully loaded magazine, and this is a 5-rounder topped off, take my word for it, into this gun unless this bolt is held open. That's total BS. Magazines depress for that very reason. Catch the lip, rock it in. Alright? Total BS. I understand it's a little bit naive to make a claim like that, but don't attack the reputation of a firearm just because you're having a hard time. Now there is one problem, and it's a big problem, but it's not with the firearm, but with the magazines that DDI ships out with it. That metal retaining plate pops off. Very, very easy. I saw a video called Got a DDI-12 for Christmas. The dude shooting it, having a blast. Mentions that he dropped a loaded magazine on the ground and his shells flew all over the fucking house. I had to try it. I got the gun 5 times out of 5. From 3 feet I dropped this fucking thing, and that plate came off. And this is carpet. And I had to chase them all over my room. I eventually put down a blanket because I was tired of looking under my bed. Huge, huge reliability issue with the magazines. ProMag also makes Sega 12 magazines that work off the same principle of a metal retaining plate. Simple solution though, very simple. SGM Tactical here in the United States makes this big, chunky polymer fucking monstrosity. Yeah, dude, this is some chunky polymer. The foot of God probably couldn't break this thing. Drop this fucking thing 18 times in half a second going Mach 3. Probably won't even drop a shell. So, very simple solution to a huge reliability issue. So with cleaning out that gas system, SGM Tactical magazines, and a clean bolt carrier, I'm willing to bet $100 that you will not have any reliability issues in the future if you choose to maintain it. I will not pay out on that bet. Let's get that out of the way. So before I let you go, let's talk some quality real quick. The milling, fantastic, great milling. These threads are so damn clean, and that gas puck is an exact fit. Okay, milling, huge plus. It does take Sega furniture. Aftermarket shit is everywhere. Pistol grips, any AK-47 pistol grip will do. End plate and that castle nut, very high quality pieces. I was actually very surprised. Let me tell you where I got this and then I'll let you guys go. I got this from Atlantic Firearms for $599.99, no taxes. They guarantee a $35 transfer fee. They ship out of Maryland. So in total I paid $634.99. I got the Norton guarantee. That's what they offer. So if this devalues any on Atlantic Firearms, I get a check for the difference, which kicks ass. DDI offers a limited 1-year warranty. Keep it just in case anything goes wrong. So if you guys were thinking about getting a DDI-12, or you have a DDI-12 and you're having some reliability issues, please, if you guys have any questions, send a comment, send me a message, however the hell that works. Please don't subscribe. I don't need that shit. But if I persuaded you any to buy one of these, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. This is not a bad gun. For something that comes out of China, China makes some shit, But Norco SKSs and Mac 90s, people pay arms and legs for those things. And I think this is very high quality, and shit, I would pay maybe a toe for this. Okay, guys? Thank you very much for watching. If this helped, please just comment, tell me that, you know, it helped. I don't know what the hell else to say. Guys, have a good night. Peace. This big, chunky polymer fucking monstrosity. Yeah, dude, this is some chunky polymer. The foot of God probably couldn't break this thing.